Hello everyone. So today we are back again with another topic of fluvial landform. This is basically a part of the previous topic. If you are new to our channel, please subscribe our channel. You need to just click the bell icon, and if you like our video, then click the like button and share it. So going straight towards the topic, we are going to discuss the rest of the features formed by the erosional activities of the fluvial processes. In the first part, we have discussed about the canyon, jaws, structural benches, meanders, V-shaped valleys. In the next, we are going to discuss some of its features that is commonly of the waterfalls. Now first is a waterfall. Now basically we have seen waterfalls in the mountainous areas or in the hilly areas where there is a resistance of the hard and the softer rocks in an alternate manner, and the harder rocks erode in a less compared to that of the softer rock, and the deep escarpment give to a rise of the waterfalls when they fall over the crest. So this is also a common definition, and the first diagram shows a representation of what I have said, that there are harder rocks and the softer rocks, and the harder rocks are being eroded lesser compared to these softer rocks, and the water then plunges on the crest, giving rise to the waterfalls. But this is not only the reason why the waterfalls have been formed. Geographically, there are various of reasons which we are going to discuss. The another may be due to the fault scarp formation caused by the upliftment of the resultant steep precipitous slope, allowing the water to be formed. The Livingstone Fall, the Agrobios Falls, the Garsoppa Falls in India. This is an example of the Garsoppa Falls that has been found in India. The next is due to the creation of the fault scarp. The Victoria Fall of Zambezi is an example of this creation of the fault scarp. The another are the formation due to the hanging valley when the tributary streams meet together, and which is at the higher level joins the main stream. Sometimes it has been formed by the glacial hanging valley that has been seen in Yosemite, and another due to the neck point in the rejuvenating streams. Now there are various types of waterfalls. Here we are going to identify that we have classified waterfalls into two broad divisions. Basically, till before we have not classified in this manner. Now we are going to see that there are basically two broader divisions consisting of normal waterfall and minor waterfall. In the normal waterfall, we have step fall, cap rock fall, barrier fall, and the plateau fall. While in the minor waterfall, we have two broader divisions, each consisting of the falls originated due to endogenetic processes, and another one that is the falls originated due to the change in the valley floor. In the originated due to the endogenetic force, it consists of the fault falls and the falls due to upliftment, while the faults that have been formed due to the change in the valley floor are further classified into two, consisting of during the lowering of the valley floor and due to the obstruction in the river course. In the lowering of the valley floors, it consists of the hanging valley walls, the glacial valley falls, the falls due to river capture, maybe due to the coastal hanging falls, the neck point falls, while the other, that is the obstruction due to the river course, consists due to the obstruction formed by the landslide, maybe the falls due to lava dome or falls due to glacial moraine. In the next slide, I have tried to explain each of the falls with the help of a diagram so that it gives a great pictorial effect on your head. So first one is a steep fall. The steep fall, as the name suggests, here this arrangement of the alternate harder and the softer rock in a horizontal manner, and the river produces a low waterfall. So in this here we are seeing the harder and the softer rock at here in an horizontal water, and the river flows over this area, give rise to a low waterfall that are known as steep falls. The next we have barrier faults. Basically the mechanism is same except that the harder and the softer rock are arranged in a vertical manner, and the softer rocks are eroded away rapidly, but the resistant rock beds are less eroded and hence forms a precipitous scarp in the course of the river, which give birth to the waterfalls or the steep falls. Next we have a plateau falls. In this plateau falls, the river comes from over the plateau surface from walls where there is descent through a precipitous escarpment, and the plateau enter to a region of significant lower height. So here we are seeing that the water is being coming from different areas and fall to a deep escarpment into a low areas which are of comparatively a lower height. In the fault falls, we have faults where the formed by due to the created due to faulting of the river valleys. This have been fault that has been formed by the faulting of the river valleys, and this creates a waterfalls. So another one is due to the faults due to the upliftment. It has been mainly seen where there is a dimension formed upliftment due to basically influenced by the local nature and the course of the rivers. These waterfalls are obliterated when the rivers regrade to a longitudinal profile. A very common of it is hanging valley falls. Waterfalls of varying dimensions are formed when the tributary streams join to the master stream from great height, forming a hanging walls. These are being framed when the levels of junctions of a tributary stream is much higher than the level of the main valley of the master stream. So here if we see that these have been of valleys, and from here the different waterfalls have been different streams have been forming, joining the main stream over these areas, giving rise to a waterfall. In the next, we are going to identify the glacial hanging valley. The word glacier denotes that it has been formed in the areas of higher altitude. So these have been fluvially originated river valleys and are largely modified by the glaciers during the Ice Age. In this diagram, this have been seen that these glacial areas have been formed over these regions, and these have been identified. The glaciers flowing through this main valley deepen their more than due to these areas, and the tributary valleys hang over the main valleys. The discordant levels are being formed. These valleys are again occupied by the rivers of the Ice Age, and the glaciers are abated. The tributary streams hang over the main rivers. At the junction of the waterfalls have been formed. Next is due to the river capture. Here the falls have been formed by the stream flowing over the higher but the flat land are being captured by the stream of the comparatively lower height. So here you have seen that the waterfalls have been flowing over the higher areas, and certain escarpment give rise to this fall. Here in this diagram it has been also seen. So this capture of the stream drain into a capture stream by making a waterfall. The neck is a neck point waterfall. As we have said, that is a neck point, so it is in the channel gradient caused by rejuvenation. So here it has been seen, it has been a channel gradient that has been caused by rejuvenation. Basically it breaks in the channel gradient, denotes certain drop of the elevation in a longitudinal profile, and allows the water to flow down vertically, giving birth to waterfall of varying dimensions. In a lava damped waterfall, these are being formed when the flow of the water is obstructed due to the formation of the lava barriers, giving rise to this valley. The landslide waterfall. This is very common in the mountainous areas, as it has been seen that due to the landslide, when the rocks there is a certain debris slide down the nearby hill slopes of the river and obstructs the free flow of the water, that making a barrier across the river, causing this landslide waterfall. The other one which is left is a moraine damped waterfall, which is formed by damming of the river flow of the moraine debris. And then next we are going to discuss about another feature, that is a cascade, which descends in a series of leaps. So here you have seen that it has been descended in a series of leaps, so giving rise to this cascade nature. The next we have cataract. Here the series are stepped in a waterfall and the larger than that of the cascade. So basically it is a larger version of the cascade areas. These have been formed when a harder rock crosses over a softer rock bed. The next we have the potholes. So potholes are basically cylindrical holes worn in a solid bedrock, often at the foot of the rapid of the waterfall. This formed is a result of the erosion and grinding action of the drilling particles, and these have been the rock which have created or give rise to the eddies formation. In this diagram, it is an example of the potholes that has been found basically in the Chotanagpur region. This is mainly a formation due to the tertiary period. The first diagram clearly denotes that the cylindrical potholes have been formed over the areas where the bedrocks have been formed over the foot of the rapid waterfall. So here the bedrock have been formed at the rapid waterfalls, and this have caused a grinding action. So we can here see there's a grinding action and the eddies have been formed, giving rise to the potholes. So this is basically the feature which we usually see in the potholes. The next is a river terraces. A narrow flat surface on either side of the valley floor is called the river terraces, which represent the level of former valley floors and the remains of the former floodplains. These are generally dissection of the flood or the fluvial sediments deposited on the valley floor. So here these are the floodplain and the fluvial deposits over both the sides of the river, giving rise to these river terraces. The next we have, sorry we are being late for some technical issues. Now we are back again with explaining the river terraces. So these are basically being formed over the areas due to the dissection of the fluvial sediments. So this is basically seen over the flood prone areas. The next we have the types of river terraces. These have been classified into paired terraces, the unpaired terraces, rock terraces, and aggradational terraces. In the paired terraces, it has been seen that has been formed mainly due to the rapid rate of vertical erosion, and the occurrences on both the sides are almost of the same level. In the diagram, if we see that the occurrence at both the sides are of the same level, while in the unpaired terraces it has been seen that these have been mainly formed due to the concavement or the undeepening of the valley floors, but this is not being same on both the sides. While in the rock terraces, this has been characterized by the bedrock of the platform which have been covered by the fluvial deposit, and in an aggregational deposit it consists of the thick sediments of the fluvial. In this diagram, if we see that there is a thick sediments of the fluvial on both the sides. In the next we have the river meander. The river meander refers to the bend of the longitudinal course of the river, as it has been seen that there is a bend over this longitudinal course over the river, and the bend give rise to the sinuous rivers which have been named meanders on the basis of the Meander River of Asia Minor in Turkey, because it flows through numerous of this bend. So here we have also seen that there have been numerous of meanders. In this meander, there are various types of meandering, that is a normal meander, incised meander, misfit or unfit meander. Basically, there are 5 terms which are used to be developed due to the vertical erosion of the bedrock, which consist of the incised meander, entrenched meander, entrenched meander, and enclosed and ingrown meander. And each of the meanders we have given diagram that will help us to explain each of the features of the meander. For example, in a normal meander which has developed due to the lateral erosion, and this is the first cycle of the stream of the erosional activities, while in the next one, that is incised meander, there is a deepening and the valley of the valleys that has been due to the vertical erosion. So here you have seen this is a valley and that has been a deepening due to the vertical erosion over these areas, and this has been formed due to accelerated rate of the valley incision caused due to rejuvenation. While in the case of the misfit or unfit meanders, there are meanders formed by extensive former meander due to substantially decrease in the value of the volume of water. In the last 5 type of meander, each type of meander we have given diagrams that will show you the types of meander. The next we have the characteristics features on which the meanders have been again divided. It has the wavy meander, the horseshoe meander, the oxbow or the breathless type of meander. In the wavy meander, as the name suggests, it gives a shape of waviness nature, that is the obstruction in the free flow of the streams in the floodplains and the straight course. Thus, the process of meander formation begins with the initiation of the very meander beds in the longitudinal course of the alluvial stream. While in the horseshoe type of meander, the channel currents strike against this concave side, and you can see this portion has been greatly eroded up and has been detached, and the cut because of the geomaterials, and thus there is a continuous sharpening of the meander bends that has resulted in a high degree of curvature of this meander lobes. While in the oxbow shape, it has seen this is an oxbow leg that has been formed by the process of erosion on the concave side and the deposition of sediment on the convex side of the meander loops. This curvature of the meander loops made more than in a circular manner. In the next, we come to the oxbow leg, and with this oxbow leg we have a peneplain. With this what is now oxbow leg? These are formed mainly by the impounding of the water in the abundant meander loops. Basically, in this we have seen that oxbow leg is a feature or the morphological characteristic of the meander. Now, how this has been formed? Now we have seen that first a river is moving in its natural way and has started bending in a sinuous manner. Next, this has moved in a straight way and a sinuous type of feature has been formed. Later, this portion is being eroded up, giving rise to this oxbow leg. In this diagram, we have seen a very good oxbow leg has been formed over these areas. The paleo-observable oxbow leg is being seen in the Pathargarh district of Uttar Pradesh. So these are basically the oxbow leg which is mainly seen in the Pathargarh district of Uttar Pradesh. With this we have seen come to the last feature, that is a peneplain, and this represents a low featureless plain having undulating surface and remains of the convex and the concave of the residual hills. The end product of this flood plain give rise to this peneplain. So if we see here in this diagram, this is a pictorial diagram which shows how this peneplain formation takes place, and as a resultant feature, and in this we have seen the peneplain surface has been formed and the featureless plain is being undulating surface in convex and concave residual hills. Lastly, we have came to this. If you like the video, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe it. Thank you.